are suffering a higher cut than youth board agencies in Republican districts. That is clearly wrong. The entire cut is nearly $1.7 million. Of that $1.7 million, 1.4 is in Democratic districts. Let me be more emphatic and clear. Of that 1.4, that represents 83% of the youth board cut is in Democratic districts. That, again, is wrong. Over the weekend, the county executive had indicated that the letters that went out that these youth board agencies received was only an FYI, only a possibility, a snapshot of what it could look like on April 16th. I believe the county executive's actions are disingenuous. The bottom line is you don't send certified letters to youth board agencies indicating that they will be cut on April 1st, signed by the youth board executive director if they're not going to be cut on April 1st. I believe the county executive has decided to backtrack off this issue because of the public outcry that's here today. We will not tolerate this, we will not accept this, and we need to speak out when we see wrongness that goes on in our communities. The county executive has decided to parse young people based off of blue and red. It is unconscionable that he thinks that he'll be able to get away with this. Mr. Mangano, you should govern with the responsibility of not red and blue, but govern with the responsibility that our young people need to have bright futures. When I look at our young people, I see the best and the brightest, regardless of whether they live in Elmont or Unedale. Forget about the red and the blue and focus our decision on making young people's lives better. Your Karl Rove methodology to applying, making sure that young people are deprived of their services is wrong. Therefore, we in the Democratic Caucus are prepared to announce that we will not support any capital borrowing, any emergency funding going forward until this matter is rectified. As I said before, the Republican cuts average 5%. There is only one agency in a Republican district that sees a cut greater than 5%, when the agencies in the Democratic district see 49 and 57 and 60-something odd percent cuts. Therefore, we have decided today, with seeing the youth board agencies such as UCC that was cut 59%, La Fuerza Unida is cut, and Glen Cove cut 65%. The EOC of Nassau County, which is based in Hempstead and Roosevelt, cut 66%. Memorial Youth Outreach, an area that gravely needs the service, cut Roosevelt, cut 100%. You can't say that the gang problem and the issues that are confronting young people, say in one mouth, in one breath, that it's important, and then in the other breath, you're cutting them 100%. We demand these cuts to be addressed, and no child has the ability to determine where they should live, and they should not be penalized because of that. Our children deserve better. They're the most vulnerable population, and we must be better. That being said, I want to thank the Youth Board Coalition that's here today, and I want to thank my colleagues in government for sharing this opportunity with me. That being said, I want to bring up to the podium my colleague to the left, Legislator Dave Denenberg, to speak first.
You know, last week, I spoke to the legislators up here. Kevan and I have worked together on this issue in a nonpartisan way for a long, long time. We worked, whether the county executive was Tom Swazi or Ed Mangano, because there should be no cuts for kids. And it's illegal in two respects. These cuts are illegal in two respects. Make no bones about it. When we were in the majority and the county executive, the previous county executive put in the red light cameras, we put in an amendment that then Legislator Mangano stated on the record, I want to make sure that the money goes to these agencies. My amendment, which Judy Jacobs and Kevan and Judy Bosworth were all on the record, was said that the money from red light cameras go for youth, go for Department of Senior Citizens Affairs, Veterans Services, and mental health, chemical dependency, and developmental disabilities. Those four, youth, seniors, veterans, mental health, those four contract agencies get from the county, when you factor in the state and federal aid, a grand total of $12.5 million. $12.5 million. This year alone, the red light cameras budget $29 million. There should be no cuts for kids. 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 It's illegal under our law. This caucus not only will hold back our votes, as Legislator Abrahams, our leader on this, has said, we're not only holding up our votes when it comes to capital funding until our districts are protected, our kids are protected, and we move forward and say services is not a partisan issue. But we will also look into the fact that this cut under the county law is illegal. And let me say something else. I think it was Judy Jacobs and Judy Bosworth who told me last week, isn't this un-American? And the two Judys are right. It is un-American. It's against the Constitution. You cannot cut services or fail to provide services because of race, religion, ethnicity, or partisan affiliation. That's a suspect class. You can't have this. It's illegal under the Constitution. But first, under the Nassau County law, that $29 million more than covers the 12.5. And you know what? The county executive said to Legislator Abrahams and us, why not spend more time working with me? Well, give us a call before you send out these letters and then tell us, oh, I didn't mean to send out these letters. These letters weren't your real cuts. You got them certified mail. They were your real cuts. I'm glad that they're being changed now. You want to work with us? Pick up the phone, call. We want to work with you. You have $29 million. 12.5 has to come back here, the full amount. No cuts for kids. No cuts for kids. No cuts for kids. No cuts for kids.
No cuts for kids. No.
Thanks, guys.
Legislator Judy Jacobs.
Well, I don't